Hey everyone, welcome to episode 3 of Are the Salmon Running? So today started out a little bit slow, it seemed like. We did get some rain last night, but it wasn't that cold rain that we were hoping for, so I really wasn't sure how the day was going to go. I did talk to a couple guides that were on the DSR yesterday, and neither of them were impressed with what they saw coming through. I know the DSR reported that they saw lots of fish, and like I mentioned last time, when the fish come through there, they are more concentrated, and by the time they get upriver, they spread out, so it's not going to look like as many as it does to them when they come through. But that's why I really like to talk to guides that have been there, and they'll give me their honest opinion on what they see coming through and how they think we'll get it when it comes up here. So I did talk to them, and they really weren't impressed, but that was all throughout the day. You still have to think more come in at night. Like, the fish like to move at night, so I was telling everyone, just wait and let's see what happens. It did rain throughout the day, and that seemed to pick some up. So it started out slow behind the store. I have a friend that was fishing out back, and didn't really see much come through. There were some hookups, but he ended up moving down river more, and then throughout the day it seemed like it really started to pick up. We saw kings moving through, coho moving through, more brown trout. There's been a lot of brown trout lately, like big browns being caught behind the store, which is pretty exciting. And a lot of people were saying that they were seeing them push up through in good numbers throughout the day, and then towards like the latter part of the day, especially kings, coho. Just had a couple people in that were in the DSR today, and they got into a lot of fish. So that's good to hear. Like, even though the rain that came and the weather that we had is warmer, I really think it is helping, and they're starting to push in just like that change in the water level and all that. Sometimes all it takes is change, even if it's not exactly what you want, like we would normally want the colder weather, it can kick them up. So that's really encouraging. I've talked to some people that were fishing some of the smaller creeks and tribs, and they said surprisingly there are fish in there, which I guess makes sense with how much rain we've had this year, and then we're still continuing to get rain. That they could get up in there and, kind of move into those smaller areas you wouldn't expect this early in the season, but it's good to see. And what we're seeing out back and coming through is pretty good too. I'm looking forward to seeing what comes into the river tonight, just because we were seeing them push through earlier or later in the day, some nice fresh ones. So since they like to move at night, I really think tomorrow is going to be very decent. And then I know we're getting more rain the rest of the week, so it's looking like it's going to set us up pretty nicely. I'm not sure what it'll look like by next weekend, but at this point, I mean, the fish really want to move. They've been holding on the estuary for so long. They're just waiting for something. So if we can keep getting this rain and, like we are, and the season goes forward, I think it's setting us up for a really good next few weeks. October's looking spectacular in like the third week, I would say. That's when I'm going to be out fishing, and I think it's going to really pick up then. So as of right now, just I'm kind of giving the thumbs up to people who are asking if they should come. It's a good time. I mean, the fish are here, they're moving in. I think they're going to keep continuing to move into the river, and today wasn't a day where people absolutely killed them anywhere they were, but everyone I talked to was at least seeing fish caught where they were. I haven't spoken to anyone that spent the day in Altmar or quite that far up, but in like the lower parts of the river, they were catching fish, which means, those fish are obviously migrating upstream. So by tomorrow, if there were coho that came through, they'll be further upriver. Kings move a little bit slower, but still, sometimes that's better because it's easier to predict where they're going to be, whereas the coho you never know how much they're going to run overnight. So with what we saw come in, I think the upper parts of the river are going to be seeing some good fish. And over the next few days, and then if more keep coming in, we're set up for a really good Columbus weekend.